Welcome to the Open Photo Project, the podcast. The Open Photo Project uses photography, audio, and text to present the beautiful, complex lives of consensually non-monogamous people. On this podcast, you will hear the words of people who are in many kinds of relationships under the umbrella of consensual non-monogamy, from polyamory, relationship anarchy, open relationships, solo poly, and more. I'm Erica Capin. I have been photographing and interviewing people for the Open Photo Project since 2015. If you would like to see the photos of people who are in these interviews, you can find them on the openphotoproject.com or all across social media. Many of these interviews were recorded on location, so if you hear a creak or children or a noisy cafe in the background, I hope you can enjoy the ambiance as well as the words and ideas. And please consider supporting this project on Patreon. Becoming a monthly supporter at any level means that you will have access to the full interview downloads, rather than these question excerpts. If you would like to become a supporter, just go to patreon.com. Thank you for listening to the Open Photo Project. Since you mentioned about the beginning poly tropes / mistakes, do you have any of those fresh in your mind that you feel like sharing, even as a way of like cautionary things that many early open relationships people make, and it happened to me too, and it could happen to you and you can move past it and that kind of thing? If none popped to mind.
None really popped to mind. Like, there was a lot of jealousy, there was a lot of, there was veto power at the beginning, there was a lot of couple privilege that we weren't really acknowledging.
And when you say veto power, just in case people listening aren't familiar with that term, would you mind defining that?
Veto power is when you are in a couple and as a couple start dating other people, and then you, as one of the parts of the couple, can veto or say no to someone else that the person is dating. Mm-hmm. So me being Keira, if my husband Mike started dating Beyonce, let's say, okay. And I think that this is the worst idea ever. I don't know why I would think that, but probably I was feeling jealous and I was feeling insecure, and I would say, Mike, I veto Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. And that being a rule that you've agreed on in your relationship, you could do, so Mike would then have to stop dating Beyonce at your
request.
Yeah. Thank you for defining that.
Yeah. But the thing that I want to say on that is that the thing that's hard as a new poly person is remembering that you're two autonomous people. Mm-hmm. And the problem with having that power is that you are hurting your partner, for your own selfish needs. And really they're not needs, because like, if you're feeling insecure, what you need is not to let the insecurity dictate how you interact. You have to look at the insecurity and acknowledge it and learn from it and move in a way that's going to maybe make you more insecure, but ultimately improve your personal well-being over time.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of what we were talking about yesterday, a little bit of like how you can definitely keep your own boundaries around something like that. And if you don't feel safe with the person that your partner is dating, or the way that they're acting is making you feel like you need to change your own boundaries, then you can totally do that. Like if somebody is starting to behave in risky behavior, if your partner is starting to do risky behavior with someone and maybe not protect themselves with barriers, with sex and stuff, then you have every right to say, if you keep seeing this person, I'm not going to be able to be sexy with you anymore. Or if you keep seeing this person, we have to start using condoms if we hadn't been using that before, or whatever. Like you can change your barriers and stuff, but it seems like an alternative to veto power for people who need to protect themselves. Not that you should just be okay with things that you're uncomfortable with. Mm-hmm. Like, to examine why you're uncomfortable with it, maybe put up boundaries for your own self to protect yourself if needed, or just process whatever emotion's going on and see if you can feel better about it.
And I think that's the thing that people, especially newbies, tend to forget, and maybe this is one of the things for Dr. Liz's Poly 201s, but like, boundaries can change over time. You are allowed to renegotiate how your relationship is. It's not, okay, well, we have these 5 rules and they're never going to change. Because when Mike and I first started like seriously having conversations about what non-monogamy looked like for us, we had rules. We wrote them down. We had a Word document and everything. I don't think any of those rules still apply.
Or
because we've evolved, we've adapted, we've learned from our mistakes, we've learned from our experiences. And I mean, sometimes it's about, you know, how the experience plays out, right? Like, one of the rules that we had at the beginning was no sleepovers. And that became a problem because I had a partner who I could only see at specific times, where if I didn't have a sleepover, I was basically spending like 10 minutes with them. And then it also was partially about, you know, safety concerns, because I don't like driving at 2 a.m.
Right.
So if I'm at someone's house until 2 a.m., I want to have the opportunity to sleep over. Whether or not it's in the same bed, it's still about the safety concern.
Sure.
And so that's how that rule got changed. And it's about, you know, bucking up against that rule and seeing if it actually is useful in the moment.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Open Photo Project.